All right, here we go. Got the machines going. It's a rainy shutdown afternoon, and we're going to make some shutdown espresso. Let me grind this up. It's loud. I'll cut most of it out. Yeah. Okay, we got this ground. This is for Uta. I do a little less espresso. And how I judge things is by the edge of that. So I put a little less coffee in hers. We haven't had to start cutting back or rationing yet, but it's coming out during the shutdown. We just, the military didn't get their pay, so what are all those guys that make like next to nothing going to do? They got kids at home, rent, and I know that a big corporate landlord that rents to a lot of military families and all that, they raised their rent like $100 right when they knew no one was getting a check. So yeah, love those Republicans, man. They're just so freaking nasty. Anyway, let me grind this one. One more. So you don't know. Have you ever seen anyone more cruel and unusual than these guys? Literally causing millions of people to have no health insurance and die. Causing all this strife. Where are these military people and just everybody who's not getting paid going to live? And all to cover up their Epstein stuff because they like to deal underage girls and boys. That's really what it comes to. And those guys are just really, they're the rottenest things I've ever seen. Everyone is. We were just talking to someone from Germany and they go, yeah, we're not coming over there. It's just like the DDR when you used to have the Eastern European. He goes, that's what it reminds us of here. That's how, it's insane. A little water. Which likes like a half water one. So that's how I adjust that. But yeah, can you believe that? We're going to get some milk here. Well, we can still afford it or have it. But yeah, we have family members in the military. We helped them by, because they didn't get their paychecks. So we kind of scraped up our savings so that they could have a... There we go. So they could have a paycheck. We got that going up. We got the good old silver one going. And the Carina, that's really a Lapavoni, so it's doing good. But yeah, everybody's in an uproar. I know that, luckily I'm on Social Security, even though I get Medicare, but that costs $300 a month out of your Social Security that they take out automatically, and then you got to pay another $200 for the supplement from someone. So when I used to pay $40, when I went on Social Security, I pay $500. Now UTA pays $40 right now, and when they get rid of the tax credit, it's going to be $1,287 a month. So we won't be able to have insurance for, or we can't live in a house. It's really crazy. So the doctor's working on, especially with prescriptions that are so expensive, that they're having to wean people down because you just can't quit them instantly. So they're working at weaning people off because we don't know. These guys will rob everything just to cover up for their little orangey boy, which is totally insane. But okay, we're starting to hit some pressure here. But yeah, those guys are. You just can't ever let them be. They're fascists. You can't hold back. There's Bobo. Anyhow, yeah, they're pretty bad. Insanely bad. But there we are. We're going to hit pressure. Go. Anyway, it's going to, it's going to be their doom pretty soon. Hey. Because they're getting more and more violent and crazier. People are blowing, their guys are blowing up houses. It turned out one of them lit all those big fires in California. These are just not good people. They aren't. And anyone who's still now is, going along with these guys, you're just a horrifically horrible person. There's just nowhere else to put it. Sorry. I'm not sorry at all. You're just rotten to the core. Let me get a little wiping towel. So all these things are getting more and more insane. People don't want to be involved in things anymore, but not with those guys and little Paranoid Pete. You know, they all have their names because they were a little crazy, right? We got Paranoid Pete. Oh, here we go. All right. And then there's Happy Endings Christy, but she switched to Poopy Pants Christy because no one lets her in bathrooms. That was the best thing I ever saw. That and the little bike guy in Chicago just totally reaming those little ice punks. And then it was even better as the crowd came around and actually chased the two off. They didn't even get the guy. They took the guy back and kicked their little phony zip tie handcuffs away. It's so good. Anyway, those are the guys. Those are the patriots. It's just like the Tea Party. People aren't standing up for it. And it's all peaceful. We're having that big peaceful protest coming up. I think it's going to hit 4% of the population, which is more than... Once 3.5% of the people protest anywhere, that's the changing point where everything changes. And I think we're going to hit 4, maybe 5%, maybe even a lot more. Because look at South Korea. Yeah, there was 3.5. They had about 4% of the people out. They surrounded that and they got rid of that fascist guy there and installed a whole new president because that guy was so corrupt. And then Nepal did it. They were a little more hardcore. Well, we don't want to be as hardcore as them, but yeah, they took that guy, they hauled him out and they paraded him naked up and down the streets, which he deserved. And they had it there too because it was really bad. So we really need to do that for the corruption here because these guys are all corrupt, every one of them. Every single Republican is a criminal, every one of them. A couple are trying to switch out. I mean, which that Green, even who's the nuttiest one, she can't even be as nutty as them. So you got to know how nutty they are when she's going, yeah, these guys aren't very good. But we're going to do our afternoon experiment. Here we go. Let's drop this baby down. Hang on, everyone. But I'm not staying silent. No one should stay silent. You don't have to be nice to these guys. You can go ahead and call them a fascist. And in fact, you should at every opportunity. Don't let them get away with it. Don't let them do any of that silly shit because they are rotten. And like I say, you know, cruel and unusual punishment was like something we don't do in this country. And that's who they are. They're cruel and unusual. That's just what they are. I mean, it's really, that's too bad. But anyway, look at what we got. They don't get these. In fact, if you're one of those guys, you can't even use your law. Pavonius now against the code of the brother and sisterhood. So just go ahead and put it away or give it to a Democrat or someone who's normal. So, all right, there we go. Afternoon. It's a rainy afternoon, middle of the shutdown, but we're going to win. In the end, we have a great October 18th protest coming. That's going to be epic. We're going to ride our little e-bikes down and yeah, I'm going to say it again. Just fuck these guys. They're all assholes. The Republicans, they deserve nothing. Okay, we're going to have our coffee.